going to kindly roast Instagram profiles from my followers, giving them feedback and judging them on these criteria: their handle, display name, profile image, their bio caption, their link in bio or call to action, their highlights, pinned posts, and then a feed scroll feel. If you don't know who I am, I'm Luke Johnson. I started online coaching in 2012, and since that time I've made over 7 figures in multiple fitness businesses, and now I help online trainers scale their businesses without big teams and doing tactics like cold outreach. Let's get straight into profile number 1. So this is Adam Ambridge, aka Transformations. So what I'm looking at first is followers to following ratio. I play Call of Duty, like the kill death ratio, and I don't like what I'm seeing here, Adam. What that shows me is that you've probably used tactics in the past where you followed people waiting for you to follow back and do outreach. Not a great sign starting off. But let's move on to the actual handle itself. So aka Transformations, I don't mind it as such, but transformations could be quite general. So I'm going to give you a small tick here. Not a full tick, just a small one. Then we're going to look at your display name. So Adam Ambridge is good. You've got your name in there, and you've got online transformation specialist. So again, what I would say here is Instagram is how many people are going to be typing in online transformation specialist. I think you'd probably be better off just saying online personal trainer, and then people knowing you there and using your actual bio to go through more detail and say what you specialize in. I'll give you a half a tick again. All right, there's going to be a lot of half ticks here. Then when we go to your profile image, I like it. It's nice and professional. Let's have a little zoom in. I'd probably zoom in a little bit more, and just so you've got more shoulders, even though you've got some nice arms there. I know you've recently done a shoot, so it's a good job on that. So I'm gonna give you a tick for the profile image there. Green for good. So let's look at the profile caption itself. I help busy pros torch fat using my 3F Trident system. So busy pros, pros what? Pro, so if we're going here, pro what? Footballers, athletes, pros a little bit general. Torch fat, nice and specific, and I like you've got the 3F Trident system, because again you're making it unique to you. So again, I'd just like you to specify who it is you help exactly. So with the powered 3x3, that's the Trident method, I'd get rid of that because you've already mentioned it. Maybe provide who it is you help, what problem you overcome, and then you've got no fad diets, 500 plus transformed. So again, maybe then, I know from you work with sort of busy parents, but what parent isn't busy? So it could be help transformed X number of parents without any unnecessary fad diets. So having that there. Then we've got DM Trident to get started. My thing there would be get started with what? Is it coaching? Is it a lead magnet? Now, whenever you're looking at that DM, the call to actions, it's good that you've got a call to action there, is think about people coming on. Are they just gonna go straight in and hire you for coaching? I'd probably use that term more for like an email capture using ManyChat to try and then spark up conversations and take it from there. So overall, bio caption, again, I'm going to give you a little green half tick. Now moving on to your highlights. You've got a shit ton of highlights. I like to think of highlights as if someone went to your website, what would those pages be? So I think there needs to be one where we're looking at about you, and that might be the start one. Then I want to try and grow my email list and my owned audience. So maybe it's free shit without saying shit, but I'll say that for the purpose of this. So people can go in and they can have a little browse. And then I'd probably have client wins. Now you've got a load of clients. I know you do really well with your clients. So that is going to be important. And then you can incorporate call to actions within those highlights. Even Adam Missouri said that they may get away from highlights. So you'll just have to factor that in. But I like to see highlights there and use them more of like a website thing. Now moving on, so for highlights, I'm going to give you a half a tick because at least you've got them there. Then when we're looking at your pinned post, we've got meet the coach. So visually it looks fantastic, yeah? We've got you, your coaching services and client wins. I like how you've got it. It looks professional. You've taken the time to do so. But now what I'm going to do is we're going to go over to the screen and we're going to go, so for the pin post, again, I'm going to give you a half a tick and I'll explain why in a bit. So let's go over to the screen here. Now, if you are watching this and you don't want to be roasted on YouTube Live, Then I've just created a brand new Skool group, which has all my free resources and any paid workshops that I'm going to be putting on. So click the link in the bio, you'll get access to that, and you can just come onto here, go to the pin post, roast my profile, just literally pull it up and put your handle in there. Let's go for the feed scroll. I'm going to put my headphones in. So what I would say is here, even though you've done them nice graphically, I would want to see a carousel here where it's telling your own journey, a little bit about you, your background, who you've helped, a bit of social proof there, yeah? And the same for here. Again, people want to, so with carousels, we can get up to 20 slides now. So let's try and maximize that more. I want to see actual client results here, not just a cover image, which is obviously part of the free pin there. And then client wins again. Let's get a carousel. Let's see the wins with results on that. So that's what I'd like to see there. That's why when I gave you this, it was only a mini half tick. Okay, let's just scroll through. I may play a video or not. I know you're relatively new to creating content, so we're gonna go through it. And just this is me just having a little look and feel. Because you think if someone's just landed in your profile, they're gonna see this and they're gonna make a split-second decision. This is the whole point of doing a profile audit. Got that there. You by your desk. So you see we've got some training footage, a little bit of meme content, cardio before or after workout. So you've used the same hook there. Again, if we're looking at engagement, it's pretty low. So this is good. My advice would be, again, you've got social proof here. I would be like, plan your content in more detail. So again, if you join the Skool group and go classroom and go free stuff, I've got a brand new video on content that converts. So Adam, I know you're in the group, go to that and start building your content, trying different formats, and there's 4 different types of content that I want you to do. But overall, not bad from that. So let's go over and tally up the scores. So I'm going to give you half a score again. There's a lot of half scores here. 4.5 out of 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Out of 8. Right, let's move on to our next person, which is Georgia, and we are going to roast you very kindly. Brilliant followers to following ratio. I like that a lot. Handle, tick, Georgia Daily Fitness. Again, it says what it is on the tin. Display name, Georgia Daily, the foodie's fat loss coach. Again, I think everyone's the foodie, because who doesn't love food? If you don't love food, then you're absolutely crazy. Display name, yep, we're gonna go for a tick. Now, this is here, you've got like the British flag and in New York City. My thing there is like, why? Unless you're actually doing in-person stuff, which you may be, and therefore it might be valid. But for me there, that's real estate. That's the first line they're gonna read. I don't care if you're in New York City or Great Britain. Like, what's that got to do with me? I can sort of gather that from following you and your stories and stuff like that. So I would get rid of that. Actually, let's go back up to the profile image. So let's have a little zoom in. Nice. Friendly face. You can see you've got a plate there with just a little bit of food there. I would say let's get a different contrasting background. Again, because you've got a white t-shirt on the light blue background. So I'm gonna not give you a tick there because I'm gonna be stern with you and just say, no, I want there to be more contrast in your profile picture. And I think that will just help stand out a little bit more. Passion for eating, yes. I help foodies lose fat without sacrificing joys. Okay, I would put that here up the top. I'd move that and put that on the first line. You've got obviously next 6-week challenge. Now with a bio, you're always going to tweak it based on what it is you want at the moment. So for Georgia at the moment, she's obviously had a 6-week challenge. So that's there. After the 6-week challenge though, I'd probably recommend like DM thingy for free such and such. And then you can just have your link in bio, which you have at the moment with the link tree, where you might have your inquiry form and stuff like that. What I don't see in this bio is any social proof or authority. So it's like, who have you helped? How many people you have helped? What have you helped them with? So what is the problem? Who is it you work with? Now food is quite general. So I'd be looking at who your niche is or made up of most of your clientele. If it's mainly females, you don't necessarily have to say that. But what I would do is who you help, the problem you help them with, and how you help them, like with your own unique system. So Adam had his Trident system. And then social proof, authority. How many people have you helped? What's the total amount of weight loss that you've achieved over your lifetime of working with clients? How long have you been a online coach for, or personal trainer, or whatever you define yourself as a fat loss coach? Put that in your bio. So when someone first sees it, they're like, oh, I need to make sure I follow this. If I don't, so you want to be thinking of it, what is the downside of not following this person? You need to make it really clear there. So profile image, we're going to leave there. Bio caption, I'm not going to tick it. I want you to improve that, reorder it, put some more social proof, problem, solution in a method. When we go to link in bio, yes, we've got a link in bio and call to action. So we'll give that a tick. Highlights, you've got highlights, testimonials and coaching. I would like to see, I'm going to give you half a tick there because at least you've got them. I would like to see about you. So people go on that and they can get to know that. I'd also want to see free resources that you've got, trying to capture email, take people off Instagram to your own audience on your email list. And then you've got your coaching as well, which we'll look at. And then moving on to pin posts, we've got 3 pin posts there. We've got one with Jess and how you've helped her dream physique alongside non-stop travel plans. The 8-step formula for lasting weight loss, nice. 5 things Jane did to lose 18 pounds. So I like the pin post. I'm going to give that a tick. So now we're going to go over and we will look at the feed feel and see how we get on. So let's just look on this, testimonials, quite a few there. Isn't it annoying that your oldest ones on Instagram are the first ones? Rather annoying, isn't it? Coaching, again, these are just more social proof. I'd be like how you can work with me, like just say how it is, how I help you achieve, boom. Pin post, again, good, making use of the carousels. So I like that. Can obviously see clear branding. You've got like the blue thing here. What I like is that you've got, if I'm new to your page, I can scroll through and I can see from the titles of what it is, where quite a lot of people, and this doesn't take long, quite a lot of people are lazy, where they just don't, and they just do let Instagram pick whatever the frame it is. But if I'm new to your thing, I want to go through it. So it's like, I'll have a pint, sue me. So definitely, I think overall a very good feed feel. I'll just be looking at the different types. Again, we've got Reacts videos, another Reacts video. So we have got some clear formats there. For a foodie person, I'm not seeing as much food. So maybe that would be something you could incorporate in a little bit more of your content. But overall, decent job. Let's go back to the iPad. We're going to go there. So we're going to go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 5.5 out of 8. Congratulations. Let's move on to the next person, which is Chris Ward. Let's look at the followers to following ratio. I like it. Okay, decent. Let's go for the handle. Fit for rescue. Love it. Firefighter fitness coach. Very specific. Again, good display name. You put your name in there. I see time and time again where it'd be like firefighter fitness coach. And I'm like, what the fuck is your name? I don't know what your name is. So it's good that you got your name there. Key here, people, make sure you got your name first and then who it is you help. If we're looking at the profile image, my goodness, it stands out. We're looking at the right colors, contrasting backgrounds. You've got a nice outline. You're in the gear. You are indeed all the gear and you have an idea, unlike most people. So let's move on to the bio caption. Helping firefighters to get stronger, build confidence and not doubt their fitness. Okay, 20 plus years in DM rescue to work with me. I like this bio a lot. I like the emojis because it just helps it stand out. We've got social proof here with the 20 plus years, and you've got DM, you've got a call to action here, and you've got a link in bio. So I'm going to give you a bio caption tick. All I'd say is active firefighter of 20 plus years, like 20 plus years I mean, you put 2 and 2 together, you get it, but you could be a little bit more clearer. My only thing here is like, do firefighters need to build confidence? Again, I don't know your niche, so think about words that you're using. They definitely have to get fitter and stronger. And why is that the case? And I asked you the question, do you work with established firefighters or people that want to become firefighters? So that could be, I know you said both, so I'd maybe incorporate that in there because people are going to pay you money to make sure they pass the fitness test to become a firefighter as well. So I would maybe make that a little bit clearer in your bio caption itself. The other thing here is obviously you've got social proof there in 20 plus years, but you could maybe end helped X number of first responders, because again, when I've looked through your feed, I can see that you also work with first responders as well. So maybe widen that a little bit because again, still first responders and you are still the firefighter, but that might just make it open up a niche a little bit more because they're still going to have the same sort of the problems with the shift work and stuff like that. So let's move on to link in bio and caption, give that a tick. Highlights, I'm going to give you half a tick there because you've got client wins, but I'd like to see about you, how you can get firefighters fit or how you get first responders fit, and lead magnets. Like, let's capture emails. Let's build our own audience. Again, a common theme here. So overall, I'm going to give you half a thingy tick there. And then when we looked, we've got 2 out of 3 pinned posts. We've got how I got to this point. So that's like your about me. So I like that. And then you've got client results. What I then like is maybe we'll look at that if there's a call to action for your coaching there, and maybe another pinned post where you're actually giving them free resources on like how you can pass the firefighter test, and you could go through that. People opt in, you could then speak to them, have conversations, stay your ideal clients. So I'm going to give you half a tick there for the pin post. Right, let's go over to the screen. So again, nice use of carousel, good use of images, so it's not like nicely designed on Canva, which I think perform a little bit better. I want you to meet Carrie. Let's see if there's a call to action at the end. Again, call to action, you don't necessarily need to have that at the end. You could incorporate it within the slides. Yeah, so no call to action. Carrie just didn't decide it's not going to. So you've got the fit for rescue, which I think is a good thing because obviously it just opens it up a little bit more. So can we add another pin post there? Now we're going to look through your profile. This one went well. Obviously this is relatively new. Why shift work isn't, again, good use of that. We've got good use of social proof there. I mean, overall, like I can tell we've got a good mixture of different formats. It's all branded. It looks good. Overall, very good. Now, you might be thinking, oh, Chris is never going to get the same amount of followers as people that are just help dads, because there's just the total addressable market is a lot smaller when it comes to firefighters. So that's why I said to Chris, maybe open it up a little bit more so you're like the first responder coach and not too niche. And then firefighter, you are a firefighter, and then firefighters, ambulance workers, police workers, they all fit within there. So it just help open it up a little bit more, so when people go into your profile, they're like, oh, we're not a firefighter, so what's the point of following you? So make it slightly wider there. Let's tally up the scores. Georgie Dawes, what's the score? Remember that? Name it in the comments. Feed, scroll, fill. I'm going to give you a tick. So we're going to add out 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 out of 8. Chris is currently the #1 pound for pound profile person. So if you are an online trainer making at least 5k per month and you want to build your personal brand, not have a traditional business of hiring a load of staff and using automation or a sprinkle of AI, then scan that QR code or click on the link in the description. Remember, if you want to get roasted by me in private, you can go to the free Skool, go onto that post and then put your handle in and I'll roast you for absolutely free at the pleasure of my own heart. Thank you for watching. If you haven't yet, like the video, hit subscribe. It might do something good. It might not. See you soon.